take it up. Let's lose control, we turn it up. And let the good times.
For the first time ever, Outside the Ropes is being done virtually, and it's necessary because Will Ospreay is at home in the United Kingdom, and I imagine you've been getting ready for Turning Point in Newcastle, presented by the survival thriller Deep Fear: Sharks vs. Narcs, streaming on demand this Friday, November 3rd, where you will go one-on-one with Eddie Edwards. Now, at Bound for Glory, you got to go one-on-one with Speedball Mike Bailey. You guys have quite the history. When you think of Speedball, what comes to mind?
Oh, my Lord. When I think of Speedball, I do generally think of one of the greatest junior heavyweight wrestlers going today. I think his run in the Best of Super Juniors was outstanding. Hell of a performance and made everybody remember him, and a lot of Japanese fans clamor for him to come back. I know how good he is as a professional wrestler. I feel like we had similar backgrounds in like starting on the low end of the indies, like the PW. It wasn't even low, that was a high end one. Like the high end bit, like he started CZW and I kind of was on the other side doing Progress, and then when he came through for PWG, we kind of met there, and he actually got a win over me in the Battle of Los Angeles all those years ago. But then after that, I think I finally came into my element where I won the Best Super Juniors, and after that, it's been win after win after win. But he's always improved, and he's always been an incredible wrestler to watch. The record speaks volumes, and the facts kind of remain the same. Clearly got the advantage when it comes to singles competition. A lot of people can be generational stars when it comes to pro wrestling, but Will Ospreay's once in a lifetime.
The tear that you've been on as of late, Will, you said it famously that within a 2-month span, you beat Okada, Omega, and Jericho. Do you pinch yourself sometimes as you look at what you've been able to accomplish, or you just kind of keep on rolling?
No, keep rolling, bruv. Like, without being funny, man. Like, once upon a time, like, yeah, these guys were like my idols, but they're not anymore. They're rivals. Like, the moment that this became about money, and the moment this became about putting food on my table, like for my family, because hey, there's the reality, right? Like, Will Ospreay is currently under contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's paid extremely well, but then when you look at the landscape, you look at everyone else in pro wrestling, everyone else is being paid way more than Will Ospreay. You know what those 2 months just done? When contract season is up, I become the biggest asset for pro wrestling. So this is all about that. So like, as much as I would love to say that I pinch myself and I can't believe that these guys, I get to say that I've beaten these guys. Now I work my ass off and I beat these guys. I'm the best wrestler in the world right now. So no one's gonna bat an eyelid anymore. No one's gonna, I don't get pinch me moments anymore. Do you know what I mean? This is business.
I respect that. I really do.
And then, even looking forward to Thursday, November 16th, Impact on Access TV, you will face Josh Alexander.
A first-time ever matchup with someone that we affectionately refer to as the standard and the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling. Looking at that opportunity, what do you feel about that?
I know how good Alexander is, especially from that New Japan showing, but here's one thing I would like happily say this. I've never watched a full Josh Alexander match. Literally that New Japan 6-man tag, that was the first time I ever watched it. But I know everyone tells me how good Josh Alexander is. And like you said, I've heard that as well. Everyone says that he's the standard. And I have seen the product in Impact get better and better, and everyone keeps talking about it. So if he's the standard, then he's got all the praise for rising Impact up. But now I want to see how good his standard is, because I think my standard is a lot higher, bro. So I want to see, like, hey, I've never watched it. Other than that 6-man tag, I've never seen you go one-on-one. All right, so by the time that this goes out, I'll watch all your best matches. I'll type it into YouTube, mate. I'll go Josh Alexander best matches. And I guarantee you, they're probably like 3 stars at the very mix, mate. At the very best, you're 3 star. In terms of what I am, the best wrestler in the world, bro.
Being able to compete in the UK under the Impact banner, why do you think Impact's, and maybe even just TNA in particular, have had such a strong connection with the UK? Because I remember watching once upon a time in the 2000s, 2010s, they've just always had a strong following in the UK.
I think as well, at that time there was, UK fans are always hungry for pro wrestling. Like we don't get the credit where credit's due when it comes to pro wrestling. We as a country, we love pro wrestling. And that time when TNA came up, it was so flashy and different. Like, I remember watching guys like AJ Styles. Like, once again, people won't understand this. Like, TNA is the reason why I actually got into wrestling. Like, I saw AJ Styles and I saw that match with Samoa Joe and Chris McDaniels. I was blown away. a man jumped to the top rope and done a shooting star press to the outside. Back then, that wasn't a thing. But it all went around the UK like wildfire. In the UK, we have the wrestling channel. It was on Sky Broadband. It was on channel 427, called Wrestling Channel, and that's how a lot of us discovered TNA. Then you guys moved over to Bravo, which is another huge show in the UK. So like, you gain like such a big following for being so different, so unique, and you're like the actual game changers and the trendsetters of what wrestling is now. That's why it got so popular, and it just carried on growing and growing. And like, all I can say is it's like, I was a fan. Like, do you know what I mean? I started wrestling because of Impact Wrestling, because of TNA.
Every time I've gotten to perform in the United Kingdom, there's nothing like it. It's electric. The way the fans are engaged, enthusiastic, passionate, like it's as if it's the only thing that matters to them in the world at that moment. That's just the beautiful thing about wrestling fans in the United Kingdom. But looking forward again to this weekend, Will. Overall, you're a businessman at the same time.
Like, you say that, man, but like, it's not just about the money, right? It's also about legacy, bro. Like, tell me anyone that's done all this. Tell me anyone that's going from company to company, knocking on the door, asking for the toughest motherfucker and knocking them down. That's legacy, bro. Like, money's good, and like, trust me, I am making all that money. But like, mate, this is about like just putting a stamp. So when I'm done, when that contract season is up, bruv, who's not gonna want the best wrestler? And it's like proven stats, bruv.